Saying, man.
Yeah, well, so like I had a hot cocoa, I think is what I was saying, and like it was so funny. I was waiting so long for you to not. I wasn't waiting very long. I don't want to make it sound like that. I was waiting long for you to hop on, and it got to the point where like my hot cocoa was like it was still in that state of like it was like warm enough to drink, or it was warm enough to enjoy it still being hot cocoa, but cool enough to enjoy it, or cool enough. And so like I decided to like sip and stuff, and like hey wait, have you hit record?
Yeah, I've hit record. Yeah.
Oh shit! What up, people? It is the 9 to 5 boys. We are your hosts. Jumping back into it. This episode, I have COVID, so that might explain why my voice is a little hoarse. So excuse me. I have tea to alleviate the issue. So previously, I had hot cocoa, and so but like it was at that state where like I could enjoy it, and so I just drank it. And so I was like, I still need a beverage for the pod. And I want something warm and like cozy. So I was like, I'm gonna get some tea. It's kind of my mood for tonight, warm and cozy. Because I also
Nice.
realized last week I don't drink a lot. Like I drank quite a bit last week. I drank like every day. I had like a drink I think on this pod. I got a drink with a buddy of mine on Tuesday. I got beers on Wednesday. We drank more on Thursday. Drank a lot more on Friday because like it was my buddy's birthday and we decided to play Edward Forty Hands, which I don't know if you've ever played that before, but you duct tape two 40s to each hand and you can't take them off until you finish both of them. And so I think it took us like an hour to get through those, but like we were very drunk. I wasn't like very drunk, but I was pretty drunk afterwards, and then we just kept drinking more beer and we were just playing games and stuff. It was a good time. But yeah, I drank a lot Thursday and Friday because we were celebrating his birthday, and then Saturday was a show, so I know I had a beer at the show, um, and then last night I had two beers. So it's like I drank every day last week. So like I want to take this week to like detox, especially because I have COVID. So like I don't want to be like I don't want to be adding anything to the system. I just found out today that I have COVID. I like my girl was sick, and then like my buddy tested positive today after I was hanging out with him yesterday. So I was like, oh shit. Because I'm pretty sure I got it from her on Saturday. Because like we were hanging out Saturday, and she was like just getting over whatever she had. Well, she didn't think it was COVID. But then today she turns out she tested positive too, so it was COVID. So she gave it to me, and I gave it to my boy, and we'll see who else he gave it to. But yeah. That sucks. And so it's been a year since the last time I caught it. It's just crazy that that's still happening. But what's your week been like, man? Tell us about your week. Tell us what's new in your life.
My week. It was pretty good. I finally got to work like pretty good amount of days this week. 4 days in a row. That was nice. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bit of a shock
What is
to
bro? Cool.
because yeah, we have weird hours at my store now where like it's so slow and we have so many people now working at the store that like it's something's got to give. Someone's got to like have less hours. So
Oh, I see. They're spread apart because it's not as needed right now because of like yeah, it's not as busy. That makes sense. That makes
yeah.
sense.
So it was a bit of a shock to the system working 4 days in a row after being off for like 5 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They didn't work you for 5 days. Just like they didn't put you on the schedule or anything.
No, no, they didn't. Granted, I used that time to catch up on some stuff that I've been trying to get around to, like important business, which was nice. I finally got that done. Also, my downtime, I've been catching up on some like movies and whatnot. I still keep telling myself I got to jump on The Last of Us, but I haven't yet, unfortunately.
I just watched the newest episode yesterday.
Episode 4?
And, yeah, episode 4. Yeah, and episode 5 is streaming early because I guess the Sunday is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, everyone's been talking about that online. Yeah.
And so like episode 3 was the best. That was just beautiful. It
Yeah.
was. If you remember from the game, it was Bill and Frank. So it's their story, and it's an hour of just heartbreaking television, and it's so lovely. So anyway, so that was a great. But like this last one was really good too.
Yeah.
And definitely get on that for sure. But what was I gonna say? You also got a crack in your windshield, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I got a crack in my Subaru windshield, so we've been trying to schedule an appointment today for repair. We might not get anything for like a few more days, but still, since we haven't sold the black car yet, I can drive that to and from work if I need to. So
That's good, yeah. I mean, you can't just like drive somewhere. I remember when I got my windshield cracked, I just drove up to a place and they replaced it for like $160 right on the spot.
yeah, but this is San Luis Obispo though. It's a bit more country flavor around here, so yeah,
So things are a little sparse then. Okay, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Also, our dad has to turn in his Subaru for service too, so like he's not having his car, so he'll either have to drive my mom's or our mom's car to and from the office if he needs to, or the black car. One of those two situations. So we'll figure that out.
Totally.
Yeah.
I started the 1619 project, which like it's really harsh. It's really good. It's really well done, and it's. I think what's good about it is it makes you so angry that like you weren't told these stories. Like it tells like a lot of like hidden like American history that has to do with African Americans and like stuff they don't regularly teach you like in high school or like whatever. And like it's even like I was reflecting because like the first time I had read like a Frederick Douglass book, I think it was his autobiography. Um, it wasn't until college. It wasn't until like my junior year of college I read that and like got an exposure to that text and that sort of thing. And so hearing all these stories and all these contributions that we were never told about from African Americans, it's like it's really powerful and it's very interesting. It's very well done. It's also very much making a point about like the modern world and a point that I think has been exercised a lot in the overarching culture, and I think it's a point I agree with certainly. Um, but yeah, so it's just interesting. It's a well put together show, but boy, it's like a once a day thing. Luckily, it's like they release episodes I think each week, and so like they've only released 3 so far. So like I just have to catch up on 3, and like I'll get a week break between episodes, then I can like process and like divulge the information that was presented.
Kind of like Black Mirror, you have to like watch one a day just to let it sit and sync with you what you just experienced.
Well, yeah, it is very much like that, and but they do it in different ways, right? This one's like, I mean, Black Mirror explores potential realities that we like are already seeing in our modern world, and then 1619 is exploring realities we have seen and how they influence today. And so it scares you in different ways. It makes you very like uneasy in different ways. But yeah, so I'd say it's very much akin to that. Like Black Mirror is not a binge worthy show,
No, are you kidding me? Like
maybe season 3 is. Season 3 seems a little more lighthearted to me, just comparatively at least.
It's because they were struggling with the writing. Like once you like have reality outdo what you can do for television writing, it's like it's hard to come up with something creative and like that'll really freak you out.
Yeah, you run out of scary scenarios,
That's why the last one they put out that was like really good was the interactive experience, Bandersnatch.
I haven't seen that one yet. I kind of feel like I should have when it came out because I was super into Black Mirror at the point at that height. It was at the height of it, so it's like
yeah.
But I haven't seen anything. They aren't doing any new seasons for it, are they?
No, I think they've given up on like trying to come up with new content based on everything that's going on in the world right now already. Because you have all these cryptocurrency scams, like the NFTs before that, like literally just everything else going on is outdoing what you can essentially write. Like if we're
living in Black Mirror is what you're saying. Yeah, the writers have run out of. I mean, wasn't that like an article about that or something?
I think there was, yeah. No, once you have Elon Musk trying to put, neuro implants into monkeys, and then scientists bringing pigs back from the dead, like full reanimation, I don't think you can really top anything else.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, our modern world is a mess, dude. It is.
Yeah.
It is messy.
But the thing that upsets me the most is how is it that we are on the cusp of like creating Frankenstein pigs, and then obviously we're going to move on to people because that's just the logical conclusion. How are we already ahead of that, but we still don't have cat girls yet?
because society isn't ready for them, Eric. That's the problem. We're ready for Frankenstein's monster, but we're not ready for genetically engineered cat girls, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
God damn.
And it's a shame.
Yeah.
It is a shame. It is damn shame. Speaking of excessive and gory and horrific, I saw Infinity Pool this last week, and boy, was it a film.
Tell me, how was it?
So it's by Brandon Cronenberg, and
son of David Cronenberg.
Yes, precisely. And so he very much follows similarly in his father's footsteps, and has some weird body horror. That's like okay. So first off, I will give credit where credit is due. Like, even if I didn't enjoy the film, it did what it set out to do. It was very good in like its direction, its shots, its cinematography. The actors were fantastic for the roles they played. The story was confusing and odd and uncomfortable, and like there's a lot of shit that just happens in the movie. And I don't think this is necessarily a spoiler, but it's just like it's in the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie. Alexander Skarsgård is like taking a piss, right, on like a beach, and like Mia Goth just comes up behind him and starts just stroking him without his consent. So like pretty much we just see sexual assault on the screen within the first like 20 minutes, and we see him nut too. At least we see it hit the floor or the rocks, but he got his rocks off on the rocks, dude. But yeah, so it's just like a very weird movie, and then like I remember like I was kind of like it was late at night. I was pretty tired after a shift from work, so I was like kind of like dazing in and out a little bit. It was a dark theater, dark screen. And then when I opened my eyes again, I saw the sex scene, and then it was like getting worse, and I was like, whoa, just weird. Like my girlfriend and I went to go see it, and like I think for like a half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour before we're supposed to end, she's like, I don't like this at all. She like turns to me and is like, she's giving me like a look of like, I want to get the fuck out of here. And like both of us are like, we did kind of want to get out of there, but like we also like want to finish a movie if we start it. And you know, I mean, the ending wasn't the worst part of it, I guess, but like, man, it was just an odd movie. But it set out to do, it did what it set out to do. It was very creepy, very horrific, very graphic. Yeah, just all the above, dude. So
I think that is partially to blame on where Mia Goth is going in her career, because as much as I love her, I think she's fucking talented. She has set herself up to be like that new horror icon. So like there's bound to be a point where you make like a stinker of a film at some point, regardless of talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say this movie is necessarily bad. I just don't think I was the audience for it, maybe.
Yeah, that is true.
I think it was too much for me.
Well, I think it's in the same wheelhouse as, like, say, movies like Terrifier. Like, there is someone out there who wants to enjoy it, but a majority of the audience, especially ones that are into cinema and can definitely explore cinema in the dark places where it might go, they even have a limit. There is a limit to, like, what a human being can take, despite what kind of fields of, cinema they explore. So,
right, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I know for a fact that like Japanese horror and Korean horror is like some of the best horror out there. With that being said, it does open doorways to like very graphic, violent material going on where you don't want to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean that's just I think all horror in general is like it is just shock. Not just it's entertainment that is meant to get a guttural reaction out of you. So, like,
yeah,
that's kind of the point. You're supposed to be, like, either scared or disgusted or just horrified to, no level. And so, like, movies that do that well, they've achieved, if a horror movie's achieved that, then, like, you're doing what the genre sets out to do. And, like, I am a horror fan, but like that shit does sort of stick with me. Like I still to this day cannot forget Hereditary. It's definitely like one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, and so I'm just like I can't get it out of my head. Some of the imagery in there, and so it's a movie that does it well, but is it a movie I'm gonna watch very often? Probably not, because like I get spooked. But like also if you watch it enough, I guess you'll know where the scary parts are and like it'll get easier.
Yeah, you'll become kind of I wouldn't say numb to it, but like you can kind of just plan
Um,
out what's gonna happen next.
yeah, sort of not desensitized, but like just adjusted. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're playing a hard, difficult, level in a video game, it's like at a certain point you will know what things are gonna happen next. So like it won't be a shock to you anymore. You'll eventually get
Right,
over it.
precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll know where the jumps are.
With that being said, I still probably will watch Infinity Pool at some point, but I'll definitely look into it beforehand. Plot wise, reviews.
Well, yeah. So the reviews are actually very good. It looks like. I mean, it's got an 86 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's like pretty good. It's not in the 90s, but it's like yeah, that's a pretty high rating. And I mean, like, well, it's a percentage calculation of like how the probability of which you will enjoy the film, which is high. And I mean, like, again, the film, I could see who would enjoy it, and like, I mean, like, I thought it did what it did well. It's not for me. I'm definitely not going to be watching that movie again. But I absolutely recommend if you like that sort of horror, if you like Cronenberg-esque horror, then like watch it. And like, I like Cronenberg. I saw his movie Crash, which like it was good, but boy was it fucking weird. And so like I guess that's like so if you like films that are really well done but really weird, then like this is your Cronenberg's your guy. I guess both Cronenbergs are David and Brandon.
Exactly.
So go for it. I absolutely recommend that.
Although I definitely recommend looking at least at a couple of David Cronenberg films before moving on to his son's work. Obviously, that way you get the general vibe of what
you
they're
kind of
doing.
yeah, you kind of get like a good introduction. Like I still want to see The Fly. I want to see
it's fantastic.
Scanners. That one looks good. Yeah.
I still need to see Videodrome. I've heard nothing but good things about Videodrome, and
Videodrome. Yeah, it's like a cult classic, isn't it?
yeah, and it's a very interesting premise too. Like literally, this guy is like looking for this missing girl, and it connects to this videotape that he finds of a show called Videodrome or something.
Uh-huh.
And slowly his body starts turning into machinery. So
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
yeah, it's pretty gross. I've heard, but like it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, that's just sort of how body horror is. I think body horror is some of the grossest work there is. It really shifts and morphs the human body in a way uh, that's not conventional. And
Yeah,
but I mean, like that's what horror does in general. It flips the nostalgic and the familiar on its head, and that's what makes it so scary. Is like you're just like, oh god, it's inhuman almost. It's yeah.
yeah. But if I'm doing body horror, I want to like go for the feeling of like chills, essentially, like a very unnerving aspect, not like making the audience feel like they're gross. Like they're gonna get seasick or something.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be just disgust is gonna be the reaction you get out of that. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
What else have I watched this week? I rewatched Up recently.
The Disney film, right?
Well, yeah, the Disney Pixar, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn, dude, I forget how hard that. Okay, so like episode 3 of The Last of Us so far. Um, that episode is like the gay equivalent of the Up story, and it's sick. It's super dope. And so like I was watching Up, and I was like, man, those first like 10 minutes they get you with Ellie and Carl's whole story without any dialogue, but you get everything and you grow with them and you understand who they are and stuff, and it's just like it's just heavy, man. And then it's like you see Carl growing throughout the film, getting through his grief, getting over Ellie, and like the closure for him, right, is like him getting the house to Paradise Falls.
Yeah.
And the way he grows and gets out of his depression is like by forming new relationships. He finds uh, Russell and Doug, and like hangs out with them for the rest of his like however long his life is. I'm sure
Yeah.
Doug's gonna outlive him at his age. I think he was like supposed to be in his like mid to late 70s in the film, dude. He's like, yeah, he's like getting up there.
Yeah.
But he was also fit, man. He was running around. I was like, God damn, this old man can move, dude. He's on so many opiates right now.
The Oxycontin is like a super serum.
The what?
The Oxycontin that he's on is like his super soldier serum.
He's like Captain America with that shit. Yeah, for real.
Exactly. Grandpa's got the good meds. Oh shit.
Grandpa's got the good medicine. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Nah, dude, give Grandpa a fucking bang energy laced with like Xanax. Holy fuck, he will be a superhuman.
he'll be wigged out, bro. Might have a heart attack.
Finna bust a move on the dance floor, bro.
Finna bust a move before his heart busts a beat. But
oh my god. Fucking Grandpa's gotta hit this gritty before the sheer heart attack kicks in.
The hit gritty. And shit.
That's so bad.
But yeah, no, the movie, I forgot how good it is. It's like, it's really well written narrative and like really good development of the characters and good, yeah, just great. It's funny. It's so heartwarming.
It's also like a great villain too, because both the hero and the villain are suffering from similar things. They're both holding on to the past in some way.
Yeah, Charles Muntz is a good villain, dude. He was like, and it was what was it, Christopher Plummer?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like, it's sick, dude. It was just such a great movie, and like, I will say, it seemed like he turned on Carl very quickly. Carl could have just been like, oh yeah, we have the bird, just take it. Like, he didn't give a shit about Kevin, but I guess he gave a shit about Russell at that point.
Yeah, so by transitive property, he had to give a shit about, like, Kevin. He gave a shit about Russell.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, he made Russell a promise to protect Kevin, so like he was like, oh shit, he crossed his heart and everything. And that was another, there's so many good moments where it's like, it calls back to like, his time with Ellie and stuff, and like he sees like a bit of that in Russell, and that's why they formed that relationship, because he's like, oh, like Russell's also an adventurer who's like just trying to explore, and like he's like super hyperactive and stuff, and like annoying, and
yeah.
And that's how Ellie was when we first met her. That's like, the only time she talks is like when she was a kid, when she met Carl, which I think that's really good too, because like, but we still care about Ellie. We still see how she grew and how she impacted Carl's life and stuff. And like, yeah, great movie, great, just all around, just phenomenal. Like soundtrack, dude. The score was just great. The visuals always are fantastic. God damn it! Why is it such a good fucking movie?
Because that was like
used to say.
That was like their glory days of when they were just doing like original content instead of just like, Disney deciding to do remakes on like old films but live action. So
yeah, that's all weird.
The only one that did well, and anyone else can fight me on this, is Jungle Book. That's the only one that did really well.
I still haven't seen. I might even just put that on tonight, honestly.
Oh, dude, fucking. What is it? Ben Kingsley, I think, as the Black Panther character in the movie. I forget his fucking name.
Yeah, I don't remember Jungle, but I remember fucking.
But you remember Baloo, the big bear, right?
I didn't remember his name. I remember the Big Bear and the Bare Necessities, because like that's a great pun, and it's a great. And he's played Bill Murray, right? That's
exactly, yeah.
That's who voices him, and then the fucking orangutan is Christopher Walken, right?
Exactly, it's Christopher Walken.
That's a stacked ass cast, bro. That's crazy.
And then they gender flipped the snake, so it's actually voiced by Scarlett Johansson this time. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be like Rule 34 of that somewhere on there.
There's been probably since the movie came out, dude.
Yeah.
Because there are some freaks on the internet, and I'm gonna see what those freaks drew.
This would be like, is it hot or is it not? I'd be the judge of that.
It's a cartoon character, so it's okay.
Exactly. Trying to arrest me, coppers. Oh, you're getting turned on by this fictional character,
Yeah, just this fucking drawing.
This drawing of a snake with fat titties, like.
Just gazongas, dude. Fucking cannons. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. And a huge badonkadonk, dude. A huge ass. That.
Jesus. At that point, it's just gonna be a fucking like lizard, not even a snake.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a lizard with hips for days, bro.
It's just gonna be a lizard with a very long neck. That's just what it's gonna be. I swear to God.
Exactly. Yeah.
On a side note, I saw that movie Devotion, the war
Oh
film.
yeah, with Jonathan Majors. I want to see that in theaters. I never got around to it. How is it?
It's not bad. I would say in terms of war films, it's not like one of my top favorites, but it is solid. It does tell an interesting story I never knew before about this guy I never knew before.
Black history again being wiped away or hidden from white American history.
Yeah, I will tell you this though: the dialogue is kind of weird. Like, I don't know if it's just because of like TV settings in my house, in my living room, but the talking dialogue is very like low on the volume scale, and then the action sequences it's fucking loud. Like it's like watching basically on TV.
Okay, yeah, that's might be a might just be an issue with the editing of the film. I've noticed a lot of films do that. They have like loud action sequences but very quiet dialogue.
Oh, fucking Christopher Nolan knows that for sure. Yeah.
He does that way too well, and so when I go to the theaters to watch a Nolan film, I'm like, fuck. And then like when I come home, I have to like put the subs on and stuff, which like is cool. I finally get what they're saying, and
Yeah.
my God, I mean like Tenet's kind of an exception because the plot's just confusing too. Not only is the dialogue. So like I had to watch that movie like 3 or 4 times to finally figure out what the fuck they were talking
Oh
about
my
and what they were
God.
saying. But I mean it's a fine film. It's not anywhere near his best, but it's pretty good, I guess.
No, I would say like his top three films is probably like The Prestige,
The Dark Knight.
Inception, and then Dark Knight.
You gotta have the Dark Knight on that list. I have
Yeah.
not yet seen Prestige, The Prestige, but like I saw that David Bowie plays Nikola Tesla, so I was like, okay, I have to watch this movie. And then it stars Hugh Jackman, and I think Christian Bale's in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. Basically, they're two competing
Aren't they like
magicians.
magicians? Yeah.
Yeah, trying to out, one up each other.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I need to see that movie. I need to figure out what streaming service it's on. Definitely a movie to watch this week while I quarantine.
Yeah.
I've been listening. Huh?
Oh, another movie that I saw literally just today was Vengeance, starring B.J. Novak, Ashton Kutcher, Boyd Holbrook.
Ashton Kutcher. Wait, what movie is this?
Vengeance. It's a movie about this writer from New York going to Texas to investigate the death of this girl that he knew and possibly murder. That's the whole thing. They're just trying to figure out if it's like a murder or if it was an actual drug overdose. But it's a weird little slice of life type film that has some very unique introspection into like American culture and like the difference between like inner major cities and like rural kind of parts of America.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
It's actually really well done.
Cool. I'll check it out.
It feels like that movie Wind River, but like way lighter and a little bit happier in its tone.
What's Wind River?
Wind River is like a movie with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh, wait. Oh, I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the trailers for it, at least, yeah.
Yeah, they're investigating the death of this girl that they suspect has something to do with foul play, which it clearly seems like that off the get-go, and then the whole movie is like them investigating it, and then they come to a conclusion. And it kind of ends like a Western film, really. Like, they get the guy, but there is like a bit of like hollow emptiness,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But it's good. It's dark, but it's good.
Interesting. I'll check out both of those.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen much other movies this week. I'm listening to a lot of my albums because I'm going through that. I think today marks... How many is that so far? Uh, 112 today.
You've listened to 112 albums?
112 new albums to myself since the first.
Ah, okay, right, because you're trying to do 1,000 albums, right?
Yeah, 1,000 albums this year, yeah. So, like, I have to do, like, 3 a day. And I've been keeping on the tee with that, which has been... It's a little challenging, but it's also just really cool, because, like, I get to, like... I've, like, tried to plot it, like, each 3 albums I'm listening to that day will have a similar genre, so, like, I'm not jumping so much because like I was realizing I was doing that. I was jumping a lot, and it was like throwing me off. And I was like, this isn't the mood I'm set up for. So like, today was like a jazz rap mood. So I was listening to like two '90s albums and like a album from like 2 years ago, um, which all were good. I enjoyed them a lot. They were very well. I can't remember what tomorrow's theme is, but I'll see what it is when I get there.
Yeah. See, my fucking music tastes are all over the place. Like, I literally bought 3 albums like a few days ago, and 2 of them are metal albums from the same band, Paradise Lost. The other one is a cover album by Alex Melton, the YouTuber.
A cover album of just what kind of
Yeah.
songs?
He just takes a bunch of like songs varying from all kinds of genres, and he does like the first half of the album is like pop punk cover versions of these songs,
Okay.
and the rest of the album is like country album or country cover versions of the song.
So he's doing the alternative?
The alternative, yeah. There's literally one that he does called it's "Soak Me in Bleach" by Amity Affirmative or something like that. It was some like heavy metal band, and
I think I've heard of them, yeah.
he does a country version of that song, and it actually slaps way harder than it needs to.
I'd be down to check that out. You said you have a CD of that?
Or no, I bought it on iTunes because again,
Oh.
since I drive the Subaru now, I can actually buy music on iTunes and actually play it from my car. So
You don't need the CDs no more. Well, you gotta get a CD player then, because you have a lot of CDs now, dude, because of the cop car.
yeah, I still have the collection, which is good because now that my car is going to be in the service, I'm going to need to use the black car to actually get anywhere, the cop car. And since it only plays radio and CDs, I have now perfectly organized CDs in one big old case.
Hell yeah, dude. Nice.
Everything from what is it, the Grateful Dead to the Smiths to Orville Peck. It's all there, baby.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
dude. You got some Orville Peck CDs? That boy is amazing.
Yeah, I only got his one, which is Pony. So he only came out with 2 albums. Pony came out in like 2019. Bronco is probably my favorite one, and that one came out in like 2022, I think. Yeah.
I listened to that one already. I should listen to Pony, because Bronco was like, I was madly impressed. I was like, this boy has got some soul. He's being himself. He's gay. He's fucking doing some country, some good old country, dude. We stand this. We stand
Exactly.
this.
The man is like, if you were to draw a Venn diagram, okay, of Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, and then Marty Robbins down here, Orville Peck is like right in the middle.
Yeah, he is, dude. He's got that. He's got that. God, when he hits that, what's that song? Nothing to lose.
Oh, Curse of the Blackened Eye.
Curse of the, yeah. Well, that one's like about domestic abuse too. That's like a fucked up one. But it's really good. He's like really good with it.
No, and then the what is it? The verse before the final chorus, where like he hits like the higher notes. Like Jesus Christ, the man like can practically yodel. Like
yeah,
insane.
it's insane, dude. He's doing a great job, and we're proud to see it.
But 2 songs where you really get to hear him exercise his vocals like really well is Hexy Mountains and then Let Me Drown.
Let Me Drown. Oh yeah, Let Me Drown is like,
Yeah.
oh god,
That fucking hits. It is. It's sad, but it's like,
yeah, it's a hard one to listen to. Oh gosh, but he's really just, it's great. He's very powerful with it. Like, that's what I love about like when someone's very good at singing, they can hold that for a long time, and like music is like a great way to like express like emotion and stuff.
Yeah.
I was talking to like a client or somebody about it. I was saying like, I think I was talking to a client about it. I was like, yeah, like art is like the most authentic way to capture like the human experience and like human emotion stuff, and like that's how we like for instance like a guitar, right? Like if you think about like blues rock, people can like make the guitar whine, or they can make it cry, or they can make it jump with joy, dude. It's like insane.
Yeah, it really is.
And so like, yeah, with when Orville's just singing his little country heart out, dude, it's powerful, dude. It's like it brings out something in me. I remember like I was going to I went to a show in Oakland, and it was for this lady, Melba Moore, who's like I think I've talked about this concert before. She's a Broadway person, but there were points, dude, where like she was singing. I was just like, I was also under the influence, so I was really enmeshed with the whole experience. But I was like, wow, I just feel something, dude. She's like touched some fucking heartstrings. I'm like, god damn.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, dude, crazy. But
Yeah, no,
yeah.
his Pony album is great. Bronco is definitely more like traditional country, like with a splash of like kind of like the newer taste of country.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel the elements of like 60s and 70s country being heavily influenced into what his album is, but it still feels like new age country. Whereas Pony feels very much like y'all alternative country. It is somewhere between like pop and country.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
And the best tracks on that album, I think, is Dead of Night, Kansas, in quotation marks, Remembers Me Now. And then there's one that I really enjoy, but I always mess up the title, so I'm going to look it up real quick because I'm an idiot.
Do you think? Excuse me, I have COVID.
Yeah.
I DoorDashed medicine for the first time. I was out of like Dayquil and stuff, and it was too early to take a NyQuil, so I was like, well, because I have leftover NyQuil, or the Target brand NyQuil, I should say. And so I was like, fuck, I don't want to go out because I don't want to like risk getting somebody sick, but like I also need meds to deal with. Because I was worried we wouldn't even be able to record tonight because like I was like just fucking heaving, dude. I was like coughing like nuts. I had to like, I had to dip my head. I had to be like in the bathroom near the toilet, like when you're drunk. Because I was that worried I was like gonna like vomit or something. I was like, fuck, dude.
Jesus, man.
It was insane. It was a bad fit. I was very pissed about it because I don't like having to cough that much. It's really annoying and it's really excessive. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I needed some medicine to like deal with that. I was like, I need something to fucking calm this down. And luckily, you could DoorDash medicine. They just require you to show your ID and shit, which like I didn't know about actually.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, you know, it's like ordering alcohol through like Drizzly or something, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, Drizzly, like that's. I mean, that's an alcohol service exclusively. So like, yeah, you have to go get that. You know.
Well, yeah, because, you know, cold medicine is like a controlled substance essentially. So like yeah, there were that
Actually, it is. Yeah, that's
yeah.
kind of. Yeah, over the counter stuff is kind of like risque, dude. So like, I mean, you want to make sure kids aren't buying that to like get high off of it or something. Yeah, so I get it.
I was going to say make lean, yeah. Like they could be doing that. You never know.
And it just takes Sprite and codeine, you know.
Sprite, codeine and Jolly Ranchers for some reason.
Jolly Ranchers. Oh my god, you probably got the Sprite for like sweetness. What the fuck?
Yeah, but that's why that's like, you know, you had that weird like you know, kind of pattern at the top because it's like it's not ice that's in that cup. It's Jolly Ranchers. Yeah.
I always thought it was ice. That's funny.
I know, I thought so too, but no, it turns out it's fucking Jolly Ranchers, man. Probably them grape flavored motherfuckers just to match the rest of the purple concoction.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
And purple's not even the. It's watermelon's the best of the Jolly Ranchers, dude. But
Yeah, honestly. But yeah, no, the song I found. Okay, so On Pony, the Orville Peck album.
yes, tell me.
Get it now, listen to it now, it's fucking awesome. Dead of Night, Kansas, Remembers Me Now, and then Roses Are Falling. Those are like my 3 favorite tracks on the album.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, everything else is like is good and it has definite elements of country. It's just those 3 songs stand out to me because the material that's in them. It's very unique and interesting. It's different than what you usually expect.
There was an out of nowhere album. A friend of mine got me a record just like because she thought I would enjoy the record, which I did, and it is very much my style. So if you look up the album, I think it's called "I'm Fixin' to Die" by Country Joe and the Fish. It's this like '60s album that like goes pretty hard, dude. I'll tell you what, brother. And
They slap pretty hard, brother.
they do. I feel like I'm fixing to die by Country Joe and the Fish. That's the album, and it feels a lot like Beatles, like in the late '60s with their Yellow Submarine ass shit. Um, so definitely, I would if you're into that sort of thing, check it out. It's very fun. Um, yeah, it was cool. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but my girlfriend, one of her coworkers, I guess, her uncle was like clearing out like a record collection he had from like when he was growing up. So it's like old, it's like oldie shit. And she found me an original pressing of Creedence Clearwater Revival's Green River album. And except for like the first track, Bad Moon Rising, there's a couple like it's got some scratches, I guess, because it skips. The rest of the album sounds perfect. It sounds clear. It's great.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, you got some credence, bro.
I got some original pressing because I also have their album Cosmos Factory, which is like phenomenal. It's got Looking Out My Back Door and some other tracks. I mean, Green River I think is a superior album because it's got Bad Moon Rising, you got Green River the title track, you got Lodi.
Yeah.
What else do you have on there? Let me see the track list. But yeah, I got like an original pressing that was sweet. Commotion, yeah, great tracks.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, no, I think in terms of like music I've been listening to recently, I've just been listening to like Ghost and then Black Flag and the Misfits.
I listened to. Did I tell you about that Misfits album you sent me?
Static Age. You listen to that?
Static Age. Yeah. Did we talk about this? So it was great. I really respected it. I could see like I listened to I listened to one of the modern punk bands that are kind of like in the local scene, which like I'll get to that in a sec.
Yeah.
But like the Misfits album, I could really see that would heavily influence the sound that this current band is trying to get. So that was very cool. I very much appreciated that. I thought it was great. It was really enjoyable. It's kind of like it feels very like pure punk. It's kind of like they just had like a no give a shit energy.
Yeah.
And if I'm to throw another recommendation towards you, a great classic punk rock album is this one album by this band called Newfound Glory. It's let's see, do I have it right here, readily available?
Oh, Newfound Glory. I know who they are. Yeah.
They had their album Sticks and Stones. That's what it is. That one's great. Great punk rock album. Very like Blink sounding kind of. It's very cool. But so this modern band is called Surprise Privilege, and they were the ones who did like that crazy show on the BART. They throw this thing called Shit Show every year, and they just try to find like a crazy location where people can mosh and like thrash and stuff.
Oh shit.
And so this year they did it on the BART, which like so they're very punk rock in the things they do. And their sound is very like not give a shit. But like I think that's to kind of to their detriment because like I was talking to my friend about it. Like I respect the band and what they're trying to sell and the brand they're doing. Their branding is fantastic. Will I ever listen to that album again? Fuck no. The only reason I would probably is like so it's really like heavy, fast, kind of like almost like metalish punk, and he's like screaming into the mic and stuff, and like it's incomprehensible. And so that's not really like if that's a sound you like and enjoy, and it's good for moshing, of course. So people, kids will go mosh and stuff.
Yeah.
Kids, as in like it's teenagers and stuff. And, like that always makes me a little unsure about going to shows, because like oftentimes they're very drunk. Sometimes like under the influence of something, and I'm a responsible adult who usually also has a beer in hand or something. So I kind of feel like, oh shit, what if I get like implicated into something? And I don't want to be around like a bunch of just fucking underage kids. It's just like not my vibe. They're not cool to hang out with. They're all emotional. They're all in their fucking little spotlight effect ass era.
They also have main character syndrome, so there is that.
Well, yeah, I think that's part of the spotlight effect. They think everyone's looking at them, so they like feel like they're the main character. Which, like, everyone's the main character of their own story, I guess. But, like, these kids aren't the main character at these shows. I'd say the main character at these shows are, like, the bands, dude. These bands are, like, doing their thing and having fun. It's great. But no, so, like, I don't fuck with teenagers. They're not cool.
Well, no, I think, like, most people suffer from, like, not having, like, the basic elements of Buddhism in their life, because there's two main elements. There's the relative truth and the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is to let go of everything and not care. And then the relative truth is the like impact that you have on like other things and systems in your life.
Oh, like what you're relative to. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Most people focus too much on themselves and like how they need to like fix things and work on things in their life. and sometimes forget that what the certain decisions they make have certain impacts on everything around them. What they need to do is to not care about what certain things might happen in your life, because just go with the fucking flow, bro. Just think on the things that you can affect and change, which is the interactions you have with other things around you. Yeah.
Well, that's where like serenity comes in, right? Because like the serenity prayer goes like, God grant me the strength to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And like,
Exactly.
so it's like it's all about like accepting, just life and stuff. And I really like those tenets. But yeah, like teenagers don't do that shit because they're all about like the now and like immediate gratification and like everything's kind of like it feels like the end of the world to them. And like I remember what it was like being a teenager. It fucking sucked. I didn't like being one. I don't like being around one. So being a teenager is fucking lame. It's a really shitty era of your life. But you grow out of it eventually. Hopefully, you grow, expand. And like these kids are gonna go to these shows, they're gonna have fun, they're gonna mosh, they're gonna get hurt, they're gonna do their thing.
Yeah.
And look back and they're gonna be like, oh, it's so fucking cool. And like like I'm all for people having a good time. Like I didn't. It was a little weird at like a recent show I went to. Like I went to a show on Saturday in Petaluma, and like it's again these all ages shows are like it's cool because it's accessible, but it's also like it's rough because like you have a bunch of kids, bunch of teenagers showed up, and they're all getting drunk and high and like partying at a show and like kind of participating in that rock star lifestyle and like and dressing really scantily clad. Like there was this girl who like her skirt kept jumping up because it was so short, but she kept jumping and dancing and shit and I was just like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. It's like it's just weird and like you wonder like it's like fuck she could be like underage and like yeah, it's just nuts. And then like you got these kids showering these rock stars with affection and stuff and like physical affection, and that's where it can get risky. And so like I mean like 60 years ago, rock stars were fucking like 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. But like, that's kind of like how just acceptable at that point. It's not okay. It's not okay in any capacity, but they were doing it.
Yeah.
And now we've just grown to recognize that, and it's still kind of persistent. It's like it's like rock stars could like hook up with like a teenager, a really young kid, but they shouldn't. They shouldn't. But it's hard because like the teenagers develop this attachment, and they don't. Like I will tell you, dude. I had a few teachers in my high school who like I had a crush on, and like I think back now, and I'm like, yeah, they would have been like ephebophiles if they did that. But like,
yeah.
So I think back to that. It's like, oh, teenagers are just like they don't understand what's wrong about it. They're just kind of fantasizing and doing their thing and wanting to fulfill that fantasy. But yeah, so it's weird and it provides a leeway for that. So at the show, I was very uncomfortable because like there was a lot of scantily clad individuals, and I was just like, that's cool, express yourself, but like, brother, I don't really. You're not 18 yet, so this is like not okay. For me, I was like talking to my friend, we were like very uncomfortable. Yeah, it's just like a sexualization of like kids, and like sure for them that's cool, and they're exploring that, and that's part of like it's also like challenging being a teenager because you're trying to find your identity and stuff at that point, and like it's hard. So you surround yourself with people who you think might help you find that or might be an extension of that, and hopefully you don't stay in that because the friends I made in high school, there's very few I talk to these days. Very few people from high school I like keep in touch with. Other ones haven't really grown, and so like I just don't fucking talk to them. They're still talking about like high school as if it's the glory days, dude. I don't think high school was the best time of our lives. I don't even think college was the best time of my life. I think post college has been like fantastic. I've had like the most freedom. I've certainly had like a lot of responsibility, but like it provides like a lot of leeway and freedom where I can do like my thing. It's cool.
Yeah, we like can go out to like whatever you want to do, and then
whatever
like,
establishment I want to, because I'm not going to get denied for being under 21. It's like, dude, past 21, everything's fantastic. At least until I'm sure like once I hit my 30s, I'll be like a little slower and stuff. I'm getting a little sense of that, but like, well, not, I guess last week wasn't a good example. Um, but yeah, so I mean, it's it's just yeah, high school sucks. Teenagers suck. Um,
High school sucks.
just
Everyone called me.
fun.
I'm not gonna finish that line because you know the line.
Yeah, we know the line.
We
We're not
know the
gonna finish
line.
that.
So the viewers, look that line up, and you know exactly why.
Yeah, it's not an okay line to say, but it's funny in the context.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so high school did suck. Teenagers suck. That's my summation of that discussion. Oh my god. Sorry, my computer's like notifying me of something here about
Okay, so you listened to the Static Age album by the Misfits. What did you think of Damage by Black Flag? I want to know your honest opinion.
Damaged. Damaged. I'm trying to remember Damaged. Let me look at the track list and stuff. Damaged. I really liked it. I liked Six Pack a lot. It was a very cool one. Uh this was also just very pure punk, and I really appreciate that. I really respect that. It's very cool. It was very fun. Just a very enjoyable album. Yeah, very great.
Yeah, no, I think that album is like their superior album because like their album My War, it's a good album, but like it is very much like pure punk energy, whereas like this one's a bit more like refined in their style and a bit more consumable in that sense to general audiences.
No, totally, yeah. So it's like
Yeah,
it's still punk rock, but it's a little more digestible for the general audience, yeah.
exactly.
But no, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed that one. It's so funny. There was only one time, so I'm trying to like as I'm trying to like go through these albums, I'm just trying to like fucking finish them. So I like listen to them, get them out of the way. I usually try to get them out before noon, because the nature of my job allows me like when I'm not with a client, I'm just like driving around or I'm at home doing whatever, at the office for a little bit, doing whatever. So like I could just put music on in the background, and so
Yeah.
like it's helping me get through my albums while I'm doing my work. And so I get through them, but like it's only once I've had to give it a re-listen through because I was uncertain that I even listened to the album. I was like, and it wasn't anything against Lizzo. It was just like it was her special album that just recently came out that I had to give a re-listen to because I was like, well, I don't think I gave it enough attention, and like I think like and so I wanted to give it more focus, and so actually it was very good. It was a very good second listen through. I think her first album was better personally, but this one was still fun. It has that really famous track, the About Damn Time, the one that blew up on TikTok. I think if you like, here's the thing about the music industry too these days. If you blow up on TikTok, your song is like going to be streamed the shit out of, and like people are going to like discover your shit and like want to hear more of it. And so I think that gives a lot of accessibility for people to spread their sound. Um, but some of it is just not good. Like there's some punk on TikTok that's like just generic and boring and like too rooted in like the internet. And it feels like an AI wrote it, and like I don't know, it's just like it lacks quality. But
Yeah.
there's other stuff that are gems for sure. There's this great band. I think they're called Derry, or Dury. It's spelled like Derry, and they're very cool. It's kind of like a more lax punk sound. It's definitely rock, but it's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
they might be referencing like Ireland because I know there's a show called Derry Girls and that references like a bunch of girls going to Catholic school in Ireland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it's about there, but they're like some
Yeah.
Midwestern band, I think. So anyway,
Oh, maybe I don't know. Maybe they
there's
like the show and they thought, "Fuck it, we'll use it for our band name."
is that how they spell it? It's like Derry. I'm pretty sure it's.
Because I know there's a band, or I guess you can
Oh,
call it
it's
a
Dury. I misspelled it. It's Durry. There we
Dury.
go.
Dury.
Dury.
Dury. I mean, there's like a couple bands that actually have references to like their hometown, so that might be like it or something, personal to them. I know there's a group called Crystal Castles that like got their band name from like a quote from She-Ra, apparently.
That's rad.
Yeah, and then there's another group, a sludge metal band called Chat Pile. They got their name from the fact that chat is apparently like a leftover mineral deposit from like coal mining. So chat pile is in like a bunch of mineral
A
deposit.
pile of like leftover coal, pretty much, is like what they're saying. That's sick. That's a dope name.
Yeah. And what is it? The YouTubers that we watched, Internet Today, Ricky, one of the co-hosts, he's actually a huge fan of Chat Pile.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Have to check it out. But I'd say that's about been the hour, has it not?
I think it has, yeah.
Sweet, man. So then I guess we're clocking out. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We've been the 9 to 5 boys. And be well and be classy.
Exactly. And don't catch COVID.
Don't do what I did. Don't catch COVID.
Yeah.
Then you have to isolate for at least 5 fucking days. Yippee.
Yippee. Well, you'll pull through, man. You'll pull through. You'll use it to catch up on some things that you haven't caught up on.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Yeah, I know last time I got COVID, I kind of just watched a lot of TV and movies and stuff. Didn't really. It was kind of actually nice. It was a nice little. It felt like a little vacation once I got over the worst of it. And luckily now it's not as worse or as bad, so that's good.
Yeah. No, if you want to see a good anime, there's Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I saw that. It was quite good. It will have you tearing up near the end, but it was so good.
I need to start Chainsaw Man, dude. I want to watch that so bad. I might do that during this COVID break.
My boys from my D&D group has been trying to get me hooked on that show. I will probably give it a watch at some point. So,
Rad. Well, yeah. Take care, everybody, and until next time.
clocking out.